So copywriting is basically anything to do with words. Any advertisements that have words in them, like TV commercials or radio commercials, or is just learning things about our clients' industries and learning things about the agency and agency life. And Stanley, stop. Also snacks. Snacks are another important thing to keep at your desk. Howdy everybody, my name is Kaylee. I am a recent graduate from Texas A&M. I currently have a full-time position at an ad agency in Houston, Texas as a junior copywriter. And I just am here because I like to film lifestyle and kind of helpful vlogs, maybe showcasing what working in an ad agency is like and just my life, hence the lifestyle. But today I'm here because I wanted to film a little work Q&A. I put up a little question box on my Instagram, so if you don't already, go follow me over there, so you can interact with me and ask me any questions that you want. But yeah, I put up a question box and got some really awesome questions, and am just gonna start talking about what I do. So we're just gonna jump into these questions. Okay, so the first question I'm gonna answer is, what exactly is copywriting? And what does my day-to-day consist of? The fun thing about copywriting and just working at an ad agency in general is that your day-to-day is pretty much different every single day. Like, yes, we have meetings about client work and we're writing various things, but we never really write about the same thing or have meetings about the same things. Like, the client work is always changing and things like that. So day-to-day regularities include going to meetings, writing, so copywriting. So copywriting is basically anything to do with words. Any advertisements that have words in them, like TV commercials or radio commercials, or any print ads or blog posts, social media posts, literally anything with words was probably touched by a copywriter. And there's different types of copywriters, especially at the agency I work with. We have creative copywriters and content copywriters. Our creative copywriters deal more with the paid advertisements and like billboards and things like that and get a little more creative, whereas I'm a junior content copywriter and I get to write the more educational things, like organic social media posts and like our blog posts. And so I really learn a lot. So I'm not just educating the people, I'm educating myself. But the day-to-day regularities that I have include going to meetings, writing something, and definitely learning something every single day. Next couple questions I'm going to answer have to do with like going from college to working full-time. So the first question is, what was the transition like from being a college student to a full-time employee? And this is an instance where COVID was actually kind of helpful in that everything was working from home for the end of my college experience, and then transitioning into my work experience, everything was still online. Decode was still online because we were transitioning into a new office space. We are going through a huge growth phase right now, but having everything online was great because I was able to meet and interact with people virtually and not really have those like awkward in-person interactions. And so I was able to kind of get to know people virtually first and then transition into the office. Transitioning to a 9-to-5 job was definitely different from college life, because in college you're able to just like make your schedule, you make your class schedule, you have a work schedule that's part-time or full-time depending on your situation, but you choose whether you work, you choose the organizations that you're in, choose a lot of the aspects of your college experience. But with work, you're there from 9 to 5, like sometimes you get, you get breaks every now and then, and like you get a big lunch break and stuff, but being there from 9 to 5 and actually like crunching stuff out was tough. On my second day of the job and being virtual and still working from home, I was definitely in bed by like 9:30 because I was just that exhausted from doing stuff. for 8 hours of the day. The next question is if I like being an adult or if I miss being a college student. There's definitely times where I miss being a college student and just having that freedom. But being an adult has its own freedom. It does have its responsibilities, like remembering to pay bills and stuff on time, and keeping your own place clean. There was a lot of these things you had to take care of in college as well, but like now I'm a little more on my own and like taken on all of these responsibilities myself, and so it's definitely different. But I like the change and going into these new stages of life. Is definitely really fun. So I sort of kind of already answered this one, but the next question is, what is your typical workday? I'll just give like a little block by block thing. I get to work around 9. Sometimes I get there a little bit early, and then I check my emails and my calendar to see what's going on for the day, and then see if I have any meetings, and then I check my tasks and just get started on those. Different tasks come in at different times. At the beginning of the month, we're crunching out a lot of that like monthly content that we already have planned out for blogs and things. And then towards the end of the month, we have timely posts that the client has requested us to provide, and so we're working on those. But the typical day-to-day, I'll sit down and write for a little bit. Sometimes I'll brainstorm content ideas, and sometimes we have meetings. The next question is, what's your favorite thing to do day to day? And so my favorite thing to do is probably just that I'm constantly learning. What is just learning things about our clients' industries and learning things about the agency and agency life. My favorite thing about my favorite day-to-day thing is that I'm just constantly learning. The next question is, has my photography and digital media background helped in this job? I would definitely say yes, because I'm still getting to utilize my photography skills. I also get to work with the creative team, and we're currently doing our agency headshots, so that's super fun. And I also get to do other photography things that whatever our creative director needs. And so with events starting back up soon too, I'll hopefully get to go out and capture events. So I definitely still get to use my photography skills in like the general sense of photography, but also photography has also helped me to I believe become a better writer because it flexes my creativity, but I also have to be able to put images into words when I used to put words into images, and so just flipping that way of thinking has been super fun. And then all through college I had different social media jobs and things like that, and so continuing to write social media stuff is really what I wanted to do, and so it's super great that I was able to find this job and get hired on at this amazing agency. Okay, the next question is, do I have a steady routine? And if I do, what advice do I have on establishing one and maintaining one? The answer is yes, I do have a fairly steady routine. I'm still working out the kinks in it, but Stanley, my 5-month-old puppy, has helped me to develop a pretty good routine, because it's also helpful to have him on a routine. And so we wake up every morning at 7 and I feed him. And then now I'm starting to switch off days on either taking him out to the park and going for a walk, or me doing yoga here at my apartment. And then come back or here around 8:15. I start to get ready for work, so I can leave around 8:30, 8:40, and then get to work a little bit before 9. And then 9 till about 1, I'm in the office doing whatever I need to do. And then 1 to 2, I come back home so I can let that guy out so he can use the bathroom, since he's still a puppy, he has a pretty small bladder still. And then go back to the office from like 2 to 5, anywhere between 5 and 6, depending on the day's workload. And then come back here, and I'll either Oh, and then I'll come back here and I'll feed him, and then we'll most likely go to the dog park, depending on if it's raining or not, because Houston, you never know. And then I'll come back here, make dinner for myself, and do a quick workout, and then work on any YouTube things or other like side projects that I have going on. So that's my general routine. Oh, and then we're in bed around 10:30, and so that's my general routine. Advice that I have is writing it out. Write out like an hour by hour time blocks of things you want to do and like the routine you want to set. I believe that writing it out is very helpful in like making sure that it gets done and things like that. So write it out and set alarms if you need help being reminded. Alarms can be helpful in Stanley, stop. Alarms can be helpful in making sure you get things done at the time you want to get them done. And then this is where discipline really comes into key. Stanley, what are you doing? Discipline really comes into key in sticking to that routine, and it's also helpful to have motivators behind the things that you have in your routine. Like Stanley's a huge motivator for me in that I want him to have a happy, healthy life. And so making sure I take care of him is been a good way to work into certain aspects of my routine, like going on a walk. And then I also want to start working out more, and so just for my overall health. And so that's why I've been able to stick with I've been able to work that into my routine. And then YouTube and just making content is super fun for me and a passion of mine, and so that's why I'm able to keep this into my routine, and having motivators is definitely helpful. But also have grace for yourself. Like if you miss one thing throughout the day, and like say I was planning on doing a quick arms workout today, but something came up and I wasn't able to get it done, or like I just wanted to play with Stanley instead, like as long as you can get back to it the next day and keep up with it, and like don't make it a habit of skipping out on things and like coming up with excuses, then yeah, those are some ways that I've been able to stick to routines. And the last question that we have today is working women must-haves, so like things that I can't leave home without. Number one is a water bottle. It's very important to stay hydrated. So I keep a water bottle here that I'll fill up in the morning and drink on my car ride to work, since it's about 12 minutes. And then I keep a water bottle at work that I try and drink at least 2 full bottles a day. So my water bottle is definitely number one. Number two is my planner. I like to use online planners, like at my agency we use Google Calendar, and I also have my Apple Calendar, and I also like to have the written out planner. Just like I said, writing things out helps me to remember them. And then another must-have is a comfortable but like professional looking wardrobe. In my opinion, I am a fan of clothes. I used to not be as much into shopping, but recently I love clothes, especially clothes that I find enjoyable. And so I love Old Navy's clothes, and going thrifting and finding fun blazers and things. Also snacks. Snacks are another important thing to keep at your desk. I have a whole drawer dedicated to my snacks, because it's important to energize yourself and refuel during the day. So it's important to have snacks. If your office doesn't provide you snacks, bring your own, because snacks are very important, and like healthy snacks, like you gotta check with this one on allergies, but peanuts or like fruit is super easy. And then like little bags of like pretzels or popcorn is super easy as well. Those are my must-haves in the end of the questions. So thank you guys for submitting them and interacting with me, and thanks for sticking around through this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found some useful information from it. But yeah, have a wonderful week. You guys are awesome. Keep doing you, and remember, have fun. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.